Hello, everybody. So today we've got Christophe from Belgium coming to join us today. And I think, Christophe, you've been with HNZ 2 or 3 times so far. But what I'll get you to do, because most people don't know you, is talk about like what got you into hypnosis, hypnotherapy, what you do now, and all of the good stuff. Once he's kind of talked about how he got into it, we can go into really cool stuff like superconscious, quantum mind, and all the cool stuff that he does. So you can take it away, Christophe.
Okay, well, thank you. So I'm living in Belgium. Who has ever visited Belgium? None? Okay. At least some of you have. Well, we speak Flemish, French, German, mostly Flemish. So that means my English is not 100% natural. So if you don't understand me that well, please raise your hand or just use the chat. I'm doing my utmost. I started in the business of hypnosis about 12 years ago. So it's not that long ago. The reason why is because I was ill. I had sleep apnea. So I stopped reading 37 times per hour during the night, and which was quite devastating for my well-being, my physical body, my emotional well-being. And I ran into a person. At that time, his age was 68, I think. He's called Francois. Nice name, Francois. And I ran into him in the gym because I thought at that time doing some physical exercises would benefit my breathing and my apnea. Although back then I had the same posture, so because the doctors found it really strange why I had sleep apnea. Anyway, I went into the gym, had no interest at all in hypnosis, in spirituality, in personal development at all, nothing. And this guy, we had a chit talk, and suddenly he approached me, touched my shoulder, and he started to explain my whole life from A to Z. He said, the problem you have here, my throat, is this and that, that's the reason. He said, well, just let it go and see what a wonderful future you have. And I was thinking, how is this possible? And I started to feel this loving feeling in my stomach area. And for a whole week, I was running around, looking through pink glasses. The world was beautiful. The birds were singing. Everything was wonderful. And I had no idea what was going on. So back then, I was still working in a commodity business. So this guy was already retired, and he came to the gym in the morning. For myself, I needed to go to work in the morning. So next weekend in the morning, as quickly as possible, I went to the gym and asked, hey, Francois, what is going on? And he said, well, I have no idea, but I knew I had to be here. Probably is because of you, but you won't see me anymore. But all the best of luck. Take care. Bye-bye. So I just asked him, well, what can I do? Because this is really interesting, but I have no idea because my whole way of thinking has shifted. I feel this much love. What is it? And he said, well, it's about time that you start dealing with your own emotions. I said, okay, cool. And how to do that? He said, well, maybe it's interesting for you to take a course in NLP. Neuro-linguistic program. I said, okay, we'll do that. And will I find another person who will understand me? And he started to laugh and laugh and laugh. He said, no, not at all. But it will be good for you for your personal development. You have to start somewhere, and that's something for you. So I Googled it at home, NLP, seeing these courses, 3,000, 4,000 euros, said, oh my God, what is this? And eventually I took a course. My sleep apnea didn't improve, but I felt okay with the NLP. And when the NLP was done, someone said to me, well, maybe it's interesting for you to take some hypnosis classes. So off I went, Ericksonian hypnosis, direct hypnosis, regression to the cause, blah, blah, blah. You name it, I've done it. But still my sleep apnea wasn't that well. And then I saw an old video, or old, now it's old. It was a video about the Simpson protocol, where Ines Simpson put someone in the SDL state and connected to something wise, wisdom, something she calls the super conscious mind. And I was just flabbergasted. I think, wow, this is it. And I wrote an email, and 5 minutes later, I got an answer back. Apparently, she was Flemish too, born in Ghent, one of the bigger cities here in Belgium. And took the course of the Simpson protocol, and my sleep apnea went away. So how cool was that? So I had this CPAP equipment, like a reversed vacuum cleaner. You have this mask, it puts air into your throat. And I gave it back to the doctor and I say, thank you very much. Till never again. And that was the start of my journey. I said bye-bye to my boss, said, I'm going to do some hypnosis. And he looked like that, said, you're going to do what? Hypnosis? I say, okay, best of luck. And I'm sure in 6 months you'll be back here, but you will be welcome. I said, no, never again. And I started my own business from scratch. 0 clients, 0 anything. And yeah, that was kind of interesting. And has anyone not ever heard of working with idiomotoric signals and with the superconscious mind? Is that something completely new? Yes or no?
I was just going to say, for Christophe, bear in mind working with hypnosis in Belgium is illegal. So starting a practice in something over there that's even not allowed to be done right now is something like next level special.
Yeah, the legislation here in Belgium is really tough. If we drive half an hour, we are in the Netherlands and everything is allowed there. If we drive in the other direction, 2 hours to France, it's all okay. But most of the hypnosis done in France is Ericksonian style, so it's completely different. But have to be careful how to present yourself on your website or how to communicate to the outside world, because it's an old law of 1892, I think, which says hypnosis is only for medical doctors and everyone else is not allowed to deal with that. Hypnosis for children is absolutely 100% forbidden. Show hypnosis is forbidden. So that's, yeah, it's kind of tough. Anyway, I don't care. I do what I want to do. And until now, I have no problem with that. I think it has something to do with trust or so. I'm not completely sure, but so yeah, initially what I was doing was working with idiomotoric signals. That means spontaneous signals. Like if you just before you fall asleep and you have this little muscle movement in your arm. That's a spontaneous movement. It's your physical body which does something. And you can structurize that and use it in your hypnosis practice. So you can ask an honest yes and a no signal from your client, which is really fun because once you have feedback, you can ask anything you want, anything. Now, you wouldn't maybe imagine it's true, but every single human has something wise. Even our politicians have it. It's incredible. It's difficult to believe, but it is the truth. And once you you can put someone deep in trance, you can ask, hey, is wisdom, is it possible to communicate with a spontaneous yes and no movement? And then if you get a yes, you have something wonderful. So let's do some stuff with a little demo here in a few moments, and see if you can. Well, for you, it's already evening, but if you're working tomorrow morning with some clients, maybe you can apply some of the stuff which we have been discussing here today. So what do you think? Are you into a little bit of experiments? Yeah, okay. At least some of you are. There are two kinds of clients. You have the one with the lower vibrations. They come to you, they have a fear, they have a phobia, or they have a problem. And then you have the ones who have the higher vibration questions. They want to move forward in life, and they want to be better in sports. They want to be, they want a new relationship. They want a new job. They want to be successful, whatever it is. It's a higher vibration. And those two sorts of clients, they're completely different. The lower vibrations, you probably need 1 or 2 sessions, and then they go away. But if you can work with someone with a higher vibration question, they're willing to invest a little bit more, not only in time, but also in money. So I would like to discuss something with you today about successful coaching. Not that you're not successful in your coaching, but the idea that you can use success coaching in your practice, I think it's appealing. So I've developed a new program, and I call it a flow of life, because the Simpson protocol is ideal to deal with a problem, whatever it is. If it is smoking cessation, if it's a fear of heights, if it's a liver cancer, whatever it is, a problem. And you get a structure and you go through your book, and it's a huge number of questions. And because of that, you're able to find out what the root cause is and to deal with it. So I'm going to discuss something else. Flow of life is something else. It is developed in order to convince your clients it is okay to be sensitive. It is okay to be in this physical body. It is okay to think impossibilities. And it's okay to have a decent energetical body, because in my opinion, the pelvis area operates as a battery, and it generates energy, and the energy needs to go through your spine all the way to your head, and give energy to a number of glands in your head, so your intuition can work properly. So that's a little bit what I do nowadays. But most of us, whether it is general in our life or it is specific in a specific context, we struggle with life. We don't have enough trust in a specific context, or we cannot deal with a certain something, and then our flow stops. What we can do with idiomotoric signals is to go back to the womb and ask what's going on. So I would like to do a small demo, really short. Afterwards, you probably have some questions, and then I would like to interact with you. Is that okay for you? To have some practical information and not all me talking the whole time and with silly theories. So if there is someone here in the group, must be at least someone who is willing to go in trance and has the possibility to go quickly in trance, that's convenient for me. Yeah. Let's see. Hannah, are you okay with that? Or yeah. Justine, can you pin Hannah? Give her the attention she's worthwhile. I can't hear you, Hannah.
Hi, Christophe. How are you?
Okay, there you are. There you are. So this was not prepared, correct?
Correct. I've never met you before,
No. So,
but I take every opportunity to have a process done on me.
yeah, but sometimes people think, well, that was prepared, but this is not prepared. Okay, no. This is spontaneous. All right. If you go in trance, are you able to nod your head or use finger signals or what is best for you?
I can nod my head. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, for the ones who are watching, you can use the chat. So if there is something which you missed, or if you have a question or whatever, use the chat. Okay. I'll do my best, and then Justine is my sidekick here. She will be my practical manager. So, okay, Hannah, if you're ready, just close your eyes.
Just doing some
Sorry?
Wasn't me, somebody else.
Okay. If you can mute yourself, that would be best for all of us, I think. Not you, Hannah, not you. Okay, Hannah, if you're ready,
Yep,
close
I'm
your
ready.
eyes. Imagine as if you're in the comfort of your own chair. Just imagine that. Just feel your feet. Feel the chair. Maybe you can feel the temperature. Maybe there's something in your mind going on. Maybe you can see something. Maybe you can hear something. It's all okay. It's natural. It is the one you are. If you feel any tension, just release it. And I would like to invite you, if you have your own manner to go into self-hypnosis, that is just fine. If you need some help from me, that's also fine. Just if you can do it by your own, just go in trance and nod your head. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to imagine you to use your imagination and to go to a wonderful place. Is that okay for you to go to a wonderful place? Maybe it exists in 3D reality. Maybe it's just fantasy. It's all okay. It's all the same. Just go there and nod your head if you're there. A wonderful place for you. Wonderful. Thank you. And there must be a reason why this is wonderful. So enjoy. Maybe there is some rest. Maybe there's other things you would like to experience here. Take the opportunity and enjoy. Now imagine as if there is a wisdom here, a wisdom with which you can communicate with. Just connect with the wisdom and ask if it's okay to interact even in that way, that the wisdom is using your physical body to interact more directly with me, but all benevolent and caring and loving. Is that okay? Yes or no? Wonderful. So Hannah, you just enjoy the wonderful place over there, and I'm going to communicate with this wisdom. And I'm going to describe this wisdom as a superconscious mind, if that's okay for you. Wonderful. Now, superconscious mind, just make a connection with the field of information and allow Hannah to go as deep in this trance as possible, or as if it's still okay for her, ideally for this presentation. Once she's there, allow me with a little yes, so I'm up to date. Just guide her to the deepest level of trance. Now superconscious mind, release whatever there is to be released and go to high. Once you're there, let me know. Thank you so much, superconscious mind. Now, superconscious mind, please go back in time to the start of the lifetime of Hannah, the very beginning of this lifetime of Hannah, where she was a little baby in the womb. If you access that information at the start of this lifetime, just let me know. Thank you so much. Now, the little Hannah, does she feel the love of her mother? Yes or no? Wonderful. And does she feel the love of her biological father? Yes or no? Wonderful. No. Sometimes there is a little brother or a sister in the womb also, which we call a disappearing twin soul. Brother or sister, which was there at that moment, but left, did not actually. Is this the case with Hannah? Is there a disappearing twin soul in the womb? Yes or no? No. All right. Thank you so much. Now, superconscious mind, we can do all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to in detail what we do with the Simpson protocol. I'm not going to go into detail what we do with the flow of life, but I do want to give something benevolent to Hannah. Is it possible, superconscious mind, that the little Hannah can feel the connection with source energy? Is that possible? Although she is in a physical body, can she still feel the connection? And make that connection, let it feel. Now, superconscious mind, do whatever you need to do in order for the little Hannah. She is sensitive, correct? Now, the superconscious mind, please help the little Hannah in the most appropriate manner so she learns how to deal with this sensitivity. So there is more expansion for herself, and she doesn't need to experience the emotions of her mother, of other people. There is more room for herself. So her sensitivity is managed more as a talent and not as something which is difficult. Just teach her that at this young age, how to deal with this high sensitivity. When she has all the appropriate information, let me know with the yes signal. Thank you. Now, superconscious mind. Limitations are started by the rational thinking of humanity, not by Mother Nature. In fact, there is enough love, there is enough health, there is enough possibilities, correct? Now, that concept that there is more than enough possibilities in whatever context, allow that to sense to the little Hannah. So she knows there's lots of possibilities. Thank you. Now, let her know that you love her. And she's still connected. And she knows Mother Nature is using some kind of energy which flows through Hannah, which cooperates with Hannah. And the little Hannah has an impact on the smallest building blocks of life, on the molecules, on the atoms. She has an impact on all of that. Correct? Wonderful. Now, have some fun. Teach Hannah to have fun in the womb. Play a little bit, like a small child would do. Can she feel the love of her mother and father? And know now there is lots of possibilities. And have fun? Yes or no? Wonderful. Now allow her to grow up in the womb. So this new positive information is going to interact with the development of her physical body in a new way. But also her emotional development, her mental development, her spiritual development, by feeling the connection to source energy. When at that moment when she is ready to be born, just let me know and pause there, because I have some questions about the birth process of Hannah. But in the meantime, let her grow up with this new positive information. Thank you so much. Now, the process of birth, you can separate it in several phases, even if it's a natural birth or with a cesarean cut. There's a phase before she's born, during birth, and after, when she takes the first breath. Now, before, in preparation of the birth process, is there a fear or a blockage with Hannah? Yes or no? Can you please release it out of the physical body and out of the emotional bodies? Let it go. Even if it's more than one, just allow it to be released and let me know with a yes signal when that's okay. Okay, during birth, is there a blockage or a problem? And taking the first breath, is there a blockage or a problem? Yes or no? Wonderful. Release. Allow it to be released in the most benevolent manner, holistically, out of the physical body, out of the energetical bodies. Once that's okay, let me know. Thank you so much. Now, allow Hannah to be reborn with this new positive information, feeling the love of her mother and father and feeling the connection with source energy, knowing there's lots of possibilities and opportunities working together with the laws of Mother Nature. Blending. When she's born, let me know. Our little Hannah, does she feel that she still feels the connection with mom and dad? Yes or no? Can she still feel the connection with source energy? And can she still think in possibilities? That she wants to be here in this physical body? Interesting, eh? Is she forced to be here in this physical body? Is she willing to forgive whoever was forcing her? Allow that to happen. Is there still resistance to be here in this physical body? Can she still feel the connection with source energy? Knowing there's lots of possibilities now. There is enough health. There is enough wealth. There is enough love. There is enough friendship. There is enough success. It's all possible, correct? Now, put the little Hannah as a little baby in the heart of Hannah, which is present here in this Zoom call. And let the feelings of love and appreciation flow from the little Hannah to the present Hannah, and vice versa. So also the present Hannah can appreciate her inner child with this new information. And let the little Hannah grow up with this new positive information all the way up to the present moment. And let them blend together and create a new timeline. A timeline of wanting to be here in this physical body, for sure. Knowing there's lots of possibilities. And knowing for sure there is so much love. So she doesn't need to find the love outside. She can feel the love inside, correct? So if she is in a relationship, she has enough love from her own, but from now on she can invite someone else to be in her life, correct? Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, superconscious mind, let's do something wonderful. Allow Hannah to feel the forces of Mother Nature are flowing through her DNA, all in benevolence, and reacting with her physical body. So she knows her beliefs have an impact on her physical body. If she enjoys life, her physical body is healthy, correct? And she knows the energy which flows through her physical body can manifest and has an impact on the smallest molecules on Earth and can impact new situations. The Greek call it noesis. Can she feel it? So this is quite interesting. Hannah is in the center of her own universe. And she is quantum, correct? She can manifest. And she does the whole time. Now let her understand she is the one who is responsible to be happy. But she has a choice now, because now she knows there is enough love, there is enough possibilities, correct? Allow the quantum mind to be present. And Hannah understands she is quantum. And she is the one who is responsible for her own life. She now takes control. Whatever her heart desires is possible now, correct? Give her a hug. Let her feel the sensation of being hugged. All in love. And congratulate Hannah now that she has taken the step in finding the love in herself and knowing everything is possible from now on. Congratulate her. Do it big. Say it out loud. Say it convincing. Let it feel. This is the new reality, correct? It has always been there and it will be always there throughout eternity. Hannah can love herself and can reach any goal her heart desires as long as she believes it, correct? Thank you so much. Allow that to integrate mentally, emotionally, physically, spirituality. When that's done, let me know. Thank you so much. Now, did I or my colleagues here in this Zoom call take any data or information in our system which does not belong to us? Yes or no? Wonderful. Please bring Hannah back into her physical body and make her grounding really wonderful. And allow her to open her eyes only if she can accept the new idea. Everything is possible now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christophe.
You're welcome.
Wow.
So I apologize, it takes 15 minutes, but I mean, this is life-changing, I guess. Anything to share, Hannah, to the group?
I'd have to say that out of all the training and the work that I've done, tonight was next level. In terms of the self-connection, like Justine's heard me say that I've been at peace before, but I can't even find the words to describe how amazing I feel. It's not even, amazing doesn't even describe it. It's fundamentally something feels like it has significantly shifted my whole physical being, and my mind. Like I'm just lost for words, which is not happen often.
Well, enjoy. It's the new stage in your life.
Thank you. I'm calm. I feel calm, but I feel excited about the future.
Wonderful.
Wow.
So any questions from the audience? Naomi?
Yeah, I've got a question. That was really amazing, by the way. I just wondered, when you asked the question about someone was forcing her to be here, why was there resistance to her being in her physical body? Can you explain a little bit more the reasoning behind that question?
I can and I will, but I'm not going to say that I know everything. So it's just my personal impression of over what I have seen in my sessions during the years. But that doesn't mean this is the truth and the only possibility. Okay? Mm-hmm. So take that with a grain of salt, what I'm going to tell you. Yeah. There is good and bad. And because there is bad, we can enjoy the goodness. Otherwise, everything would be okay and we would have no idea why it's okay. No? Mm. And I think sometimes there's forces which are really powerful and they put us in the physical body, although we don't want that. Why is that? Because we as humans, we are interesting. We are so powerful and we can release our energy, our power, if we experience emotions. And that is what makes us human. We are not robots. So one moment we are sad, next moment we are experiencing joy and happiness. And constantly we are releasing emotions because we shift all the whole time. And those forces, they kind of like that we shift those energies and they take it. Yes. At least that's my impression. I'm just honest, okay? Do not accept this idea as the only truth, because probably it isn't. But if you, as a sensitive person, do not want to be here in this physical body, you have a problem. And a lot of people don't want to be here in this physical body. Although if you would genuinely ask the question, they would say, yeah, sure, I want to be here. But a lot of people like us who are really sensitive don't want to be here because there's so much data, there's so much impressions, there's so much stuff going on, which is difficult to deal with. Now, if you do not want to be here in this life or in this physical body, you have a problem. How are you going to be happy? How are you going to be experiencing peace of mind? How are you going to experience well-being? And that's rather challenging, I would think. So by bringing Hannah back to the womb and letting her feel that at least her mother and father is loving her, and she can feel the connection with source energy, and she can feel the experience behind the theory of there's opulence. Because we can read those things in books, but we have no idea how it feels. But if you use the trance, you can feel it. You are actually experiencing opulence. You are actually experiencing the connection with source energy. So the reason why those forces are interested in us as humans becomes more as an advantage for us, because at that moment we become immensely powerful creatures. And I strongly believe that if we are happy, if we are feeling secure and loved, we can do amazing stuff. We can do much more as our politicians are letting us believe. If we actually can believe something is possible, it will be possible, no matter what. Everything is impossible until the first person has done it. During thousands of years, humanity wanted to fly. It was impossible until the first airplane was built, and then we could fly. You see? But our whole economy, our whole society is built on there is a lack of something. Buy this dress, because if you don't buy this dress right now, in the next 15 minutes it will be sold. Buy it now. There's scarcity. Buy an insurance, because if there is a problem in your house and it burns down, you have nothing left. Every single thing in our modern economy is built on there is a lack of something. But that's not true. In nature, there is no lack of something. Locally, maybe, but not in general. There is enough food, there is enough love, there is enough health. But we are constantly impressed with something which is a bias. And in order to go against this bias, you need trance, because you need the experience. That is not the truth. The truth is something else. And as long as you can't experience those things, it is just an idea in theory, but not not practical. So a few weeks ago, I did a presentation on the Dave Wellman Legacy Conference. And I told people there that, you know, hypnotists, they acquire a new skill. And they question themselves, say, okay, what do I need to learn, or what hot topic is out there? And it can be literally anything on such a conference. like building your business with Facebook ads or the next new modern shock induction, whatever it is. So they go in and they do that, which is fine, because what they are doing is that they are acquiring a new skill, which is good, and we all agree. But what's really happening is that the newly acquired skill, which is specific, is operating on all these layers and layers and layers run by the subconscious mind. And the best way to think about this is that you have an operating system on your computer or phone, like Apple has iOS, Google has Android. And on top of that, you install applications which are built for a different software system. So if you install a specific good software on a bad running operating system, that software is going to run poorly and is extremely inefficient. And this is what is happening in the real world every single day. People are just trying to learn these processes and these new things, but the foundations of their minds and their physical body are in seriously poor condition. I mean, basically what they are doing is trying to install X, a specific new thing, based on a poorly running operating system. And this is like building a house on top of sand. So that's why we are going back to the womb and let it experience and say, Hannah, here is your chance, feel it. Because once she has felt it, she can no longer ignore it, the idea. And you just go and visit a library. During humanity, every single culture has discussed this idea. It is possible. And every single book which was written specifically. So you have all these kinds of different vocabulary speaking about the same idea, but it's still a book wisdom. And here you use the trance in order to accept the idea because you can feel it. Isn't that correct, Hannah? You were able to feel it, so it becomes your reality. Now, you may read 100 books, or you may have 15 minutes in absorbing the reality. I mean, the 15 minutes is much more intense as reading the 100 books, correct? So this is what not so many people are teaching, I think. People are teaching.
Follow-up question. Sorry,
Yeah.
Can I ask the question? So that sort of 15 minutes that you did there, you would do that with every client.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you start? Because that was really good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you feel that, did you intuitively ask those questions because it was Hannah that you were working on? Or is that like a script that would, that you would do, those questions, you've kind of perfected those questions over time?
The latter, but of course you use your intuition, but you need a structure. You need to start somewhere, because if you have no idea what to ask, you need a structure. You need a set of questions. But of course, after a while, you become more intuitive and you know what's going on. Because with Hannah, you would assume that if you did the work in the womb and you did the rebirthing afterwards, if you would ask the question, hey, do you want to be here in this physical body? You would assume you would get a yes.
Right.
But still there was no yes. So at that moment, it's good not to assume something. So you, as a therapist, you put yourself in neutral position and say, okay, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And not assume something.
Yeah.
So at that moment, then it's good you have a structure. But of course, I mean, you need to have a little personal touch. And as a quick responder, so it goes really well. Some people are taking more time to respond with the idiomotoric signals. I'm not saying it's every session is the same, but I mean, once you have idiomotoric feedback, you have a yes and a no. Oh my God, people, everything is possible. Please, please start using that. Because not only you can go to the root cause of a specific problem, but you can also deal with more general issues. And this is a meta issue. And don't we all have that? I mean, the reason why I am not successful in a certain context of my life is because I can't accept the idea it is possible for 100%. Because once an idea has become dominant, it needs to be executed by my system. It won't be executed until 100%, so not at 99%. But if I actually can believe it is possible, and that is what in the Bible says, you let go. It is the 7th day of the week. You rest. You let go. But you can only let go of a certain idea if you can accept it's possible. And we as humans, first we would like to see an evidence, and then maybe then we will believe it. But it's the other way around. But how on earth can you accept a new idea which is challenging for you if you haven't seen a proof? That's how our mind works. First, I have to see it, and then I will believe you. Now, in the manifestation process, it's the other way around. But if you have a limited thinking, because of all the programmation of the commercials, of the marketing, of our politicians, of our schools, of our teachers, saying there is not enough health, you need to go to the doctor. There is not enough relationship possibility, you need to go to relationship bureau. You need to go on Tinder or whatever it is nowadays. They will fix your problem. And I'm saying, no, the app won't solve your problem. You are the one who can solve your problem. And once you can accept it is possible to have a wonderful relationship, the person shows up, bang, like that, out of the sky, boom. There he is, or she, or they, or whatever these gender neutral things. So yeah, it's interesting. Use the idiomotoric signals. Well,
Christophe, the one thing that I noticed with my conscious mind was when I got to play in the womb, I've never seen myself as a playful person, even as a mother. Like I struggled to do play stuff. But when you took me there and I could play, it was amazing. I was like a baby, like having so much fun. It was, yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, and I must admit, I'm quite rational and serious and boring. And you all know Justine, and she she can go in trance like the best. And at a certain moment, she channeled information for me. She said, "It's about time you have more fun. The energy of fun will be more in your presence." And at that moment, I thought, fun. What is that fun? And seriously, after a while, I started to feel it. And I was thinking, okay, if it has such an impact, let's help our clients also to experience that. Because if we can enjoy life more, if you have fun, there's more relaxed. I mean, if you laugh, the tension releases your body. Laughing is wonderful. So it's, yeah. Don't make my mistake too much and don't be too serious. It's good to have an analytical mind, but not too much. That's working against you. There's another question of Kate.
Yeah. Hi, Christophe. That was great. Thank you. I just wanted to find out if you come across clients that struggle to connect to the source energy, or where you kind of go with that. Because I know some of the hypnotherapy that I use, we connect to our higher self, and I notice that a lot of people struggle to do that at times. So I wondered if using
negotiating.
Yeah.
By negotiating.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a bias and you need to go by the bias.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go further. And that's why you need the experience.
Yeah.
And some people are scared to feel that.
Mm.
And you can use your imagination as if a metaphor, just by tiptoeing a little bit, just by feeling it 0.5%.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that idea is accepted, sometimes people think they will explode, they will die.
Yeah.
But that's a bias.
Mm.
And if you can convince them, but you can't convince people with words, they need to experience it, because fear is something real. If you are experiencing fear, you can feel it in your physical body.
Mm.
Your nervous system is the only way, or by your nervous system is the only way that your mind can experience real life.
Mm.
All goes through your nervous system. So if you are convinced that it's just the opposite, that it is possible to feel such benevolent feelings, step by step, and in those people you need to do that gentle. And maybe one session is not enough.
Mm.
Maybe you need a few more. But at a certain moment, it becomes, okay, it's probably, it is true.
Mm. Yeah, thank you.
But you need to convince them. That's why I always say to my students, the definition of a great session is that you deal with the root cause, why it is an issue, plus experience that something wonderful is going on, something which is difficult to understand, but cannot be neglected because you can feel it. And once you have those two variables, you have a great outcome, because those people will open their eyes at the end of the session and they won't say, oh, do I have to feel myself better now? They will open their eyes and they say, oh, what was that? And then you have convinced something is shifted, correct? I see a chat from Helen. I said, if it's not fun, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, yeah. But not everyone is experiencing fun. Especially not the people like me who are too analytical. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What are you using hypnosis now on a daily basis for yourself? Yes or no? I see some people nodding yes, but not all. you know you can use this concept also for yourself. So you can also go in trance and with the idea of, I wonder how it would feel like that I sense this connection and that I sense this love, and I wonder how it feels like. Just experiment a little bit with the idea. And I'm sure it will help in the convincing of yourself that more things are possible. Of course, this is always context-wise. I mean, I am worthwhile that I have a cat in my house. I'm still not worthwhile enough that I have a dog in my house. So in the context of having a cat, it's okay. In the context of having a dog, I still have a problem. You see? So we all have these things in our life. It's context-wise. Maybe you have kids, so you're worthwhile in the context of having kids. But maybe you're not allowing yourself to be a millionaire. So in the context of making a lot of money, you're not worthwhile yet. So it's not in general in your life, it's always context-wise. And if you want to move forward in a certain context, you need to convince it is possible, or you need to convince yourself it's possible.
Oh, I just was wondering, so do you use SP like all the time in your practice, or do you do other modalities within that, or do you find just SP is so powerful? That's what you use?
I used in the beginning, I only used the Simpson protocol for dealing with the problem. You know, whatever the reason is, you can use SP. You have a set of questions. You just take your book. You just read out loud the questions, and at the end of the session, a problem is solved. And after a while, you start to be more flexible. In the beginning, you still need to have your book, and it's like first you need to walk, and then you can run. And then you become more flexible and new ideas come. You just ask other questions. And the thing I have developed now, the flow of life, is just a natural evolution of the things which I missed in SP. At a certain moment, you will find, okay, in this case, something is still missing because my client has needs something else. And then you start using those yes and no feedback questions in order to find a structure and move forward. But everything is evolution.
Oh, cool.
No.
And how long is your sessions generally?
It depends whether you have a quick responder or not, but from the moment a client comes in till she's back in the car, first time an hour and a half. You have a little chat. You still need to do the induction. A second session is a lot shorter because you have those anchor words. You don't need to do the induction anymore. You don't need to do the preparation anymore. It's easier. But the first session with a little pre-talk, with an induction, and then the therapy, an hour and a half.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
You're awfully quiet today. Or is that always so?
Pretty much always these guys can be quiet.
Come on, New Zealanders.
In this HNZ group, we're quiet, but as you know, in the other ones, we're not at all, are we?
I've got another question. Sorry. So doing that, I just love what you did just that with Hannah, was so cool. So would you do that only once with a client? Do you know what I mean? Or would you do that if they came in for another session? You kind of dip back into that feeling to, you know,
it depends. In the second session, you can go back. Of course, the client is giving you feedback. And the client says, wow, I know it's possible now. Of course, then you don't need to go back and feel the connection with source energy and convince them it's possible. But if you sense it's still not the way it should be, then I would use the convincer again. Yeah. So it kind of depends who your client is and what the topic is you're working with. Some people are quite spiritual and then some people are not. I'm not going to advertise to the outside world that I'm interested in spirituality. Some people might do that. But if a client comes in, I just do whatever I want. It's my hobby, it's my job. I do whatever I want. But people are quite surprised. Sometimes a plumber comes in and says, help me with this problem, and then we go to a different life, and then once the problem is solved, they say, oh, I was pretty sure that all this woo-woo stuff was bullshit. But now I know it's not, because I've had the experience. So sometimes in a second or a third session, you need to have a little talk and say, well, okay, now your belief system is shifted for 180 degrees. How is your life now? How does your partner respond? Yeah. Sometimes you need to take a little aftercare, but people will like it.
Do you have a website at all that we could look up?
Absolutely.
Do you want to stick it in
For
the chat, Christophe?
Sorry?
You want to stick it in the chat so people can click the link?
Yeah. No, unfortunately, I have lots of websites, but most of them are in Dutch. I have one in English, which is if you ever want to teach the quantum mind, just contact Justine or go to this website.
Or learn it.
Yeah, you can also learn it online, or Justine can make a possibility for that to have a life.
And even if you, Christophe does online sessions, I think some of you might have already had a session with Christophe, but like what you saw today, it's definitely an experience. Hey, Christophe.
Well, every session is unique. Eh? I'm always...
Another question.
Just
a quick question. I found it really fascinating about the twin soul. I've never heard that before. So is that like a common thing that everybody knows about, that there might have been a twin with you in the womb and that it disappeared?
I don't think it's a common idea, but I do think a lot of people can accept it.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, you can ask if your mother still lives.
Mm-hmm.
If that was the case, and sometimes they say, okay, yeah, I had a little blood loss during the pregnancy, and then you know, okay. But then of course you get this strange look and say, how do you know that? I haven't told anyone. How do you know that? It's like if you have a little brother in the womb and you have decided to have a life with your brother, and after a few weeks your brother says, toodaloo, bye-bye, I'm going back. And there you are. I say, shit, I'm here now, and now I have to deal with all this shit by my own. I don't want to be a reader. And then the problem starts. And those are the people who are kind of looking for something which they can't pinpoint. They generally have this sense of, I'm always looking for something and I can't find it. No, that's it, because they miss the connection. Whatever you do, because this is a little bit grief, correct? They mourn. If you have, not only in this case, but if you have a client who has lost her child, or lost his partner, or lost the parents when they die, please make sure they reconnect. They can feel the connection to the soul or whatever there is. Once they feel the connection, they are able to let go of the grief. They cannot let go of the grief if they still have the idea, I am separated and I am left behind. You only can accept and go to the next level once you feel you're reconnected. So make sure you do that. Ask if that person can join your session. For example, if you have a lady in your chair and she has lost a child, please use the idiomotoric responses and ask if the soul of the little child can join the session. And you can, and her as a mother can feel the connection to the soul of this child. And then the tears will come. And because they feel the connection, then they can let go of the grief. But make sure they reconnect. That's important.
Awesome. Claire's just saying thanks so much, Christophe. Cool. Wow. Any last questions before we...
Claire has another question.
Yep.
I just was saying thank you so much. Yeah, really great. Lots of great pieces. I'm going to go and rewatch it though to consume it all in.
It's thanks to you. I can only do a talk like this if there's a cooperation, and I can have a demo with Hannah. It's easier to explain once you have an example instead of explaining a PowerPoint presentation, which I hate. Yeah. I don't like to talk theory too much. I like to go into detail and answer questions.
Yeah, it was really good. Thank you so much. I better go because my daughter needs to get to bed. Thank you.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cool. Awesome, everybody. Well, thanks so much, Christophe, for joining us, and everybody for coming today. It was an amazing, awesome turnout.
It was phenomenal. Thank you, Christophe. I really appreciate you today.
Well, thank you for having me on the talk. It's good for practicing my English.
You did an amazing job there.
Cool. All right. See you later, everybody. I'm just going to press.